The reason why you are struggling to walk with God is because you don't want to let go of that sin. People who are struggling to walk with God, they are struggling because they don't want to let go of the sin. You know what I'm talking about. You are refusing to let go of the sin. You are refusing to let it go. That sin, you love it so much that it has become one with you. That sin, it has become a part of you. You are one with that sin, and that has resulted in you struggling to walk with God. If you are struggling to walk with God, if you are struggling to pray, if you are struggling to read the word, if you are struggling to obey God, it is because of that sin. You are refusing to let it go. I don't know what is it, but you know what I am talking about. That sin that you love so much, that sin that gives you temporary pleasure, that sin that makes you feel good, that sin that makes you feel like you belong to something. That is the reason why you are struggling to walk with God. And another thing is, you are receiving a sugar-coated gospel. Listen, it is impossible to walk with God faithfully sitting under a ministry of a man who sugarcoats the gospel. For one to grow, for one to walk with God faithfully, for one to overcome the struggle of working with God, one must sit under a minister of a man who preaches the solid biblical truth. You are struggling to work with God because you are sitting under a ministry of a man who sugarcoats the gospel. You are not receiving the true gospel. You are receiving a sugar-coated gospel. It sounds like a gospel. It tastes like a gospel, but it is not the true gospel. It is not the gospel that will set you free from that sin. It is not the gospel that will set you free from that addiction. A sugar-coated gospel will make you comfortable in your sins, and that will result in you struggling to walk with God. I am telling you, if you wanna be free